What's up, everyone? Welcome to the Roundup AX edition. You guys might have seen the YouTube version, the short one, but every Wednesday from now on this channel, twitch.tv/VersalGG. You are though. Joined by the man himself, Logan Sama, who's done the ton of work from yesterday. We're here to talk some more, Logan. No.
Hello.
We got an upgrade.
No, I look the other way. That's over here.
we definitely upgraded to ApologyMan himself, man. How are you
What's
doing?
What's up? Thanks for having me.
He's living the life right now.
For sure. A lot of stuff's been happening lately.
By the way, is Logan muted? Logan, can you talk? The chat is saying they cannot hear you. I can hear you fine.
You can hear me. Oh, well done, production.
Okay, it's okay. Mothership is fixing Logan.
Oh,
there he is.
God.
Can you guys hear Logan?
Hello. Testing.
There he is. Can you repeat every single word you said since we went live, Logan?
I said we have. That's not Tyrant. We have someone better than Tyrant. How have you been?
Yeah, we were just talking
busy?
about how much we love Tyrant, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. And how much Red Bull you've been drinking out of that fridge. I actually had to remove the mini fridge from my house.
Well, I mean, you're in the middle of nowhere. Like, what would you plug it into? Like...
No, not because of that, sir. Because having it in that close proximity. You know, me and Samat have both worked events that were sponsored by Red Bull, and let me tell you, sir, with access to unlimited free Red Bull, I can't control myself.
No, yep. I feel that, dude. I feel that.
I've seen
it's delicious elixir.
I feel that, especially with there's this like pineapple flavor that I get usually.
The summer thing, the yellow summer one.
Yeah, the yellow one. It's too good.
They got that at the Gaming Sphere. They have that. And the orange one in sugar-free versions. And let me tell you, sir, I will TO an 8-hour event with no breaks. on that alone, it certainly gives me wings and a lot more. What a beautiful, delicious beverage.
The breaks is when he drinks the drink. But of course, guys, we're here for about an hour and a half just talking about FGC and everything. Let's review today's talking points, of course, because we got quite a few. You will see them. Yes,
well, this is very professional.
You know, really professional. You'll even have like anything to tell you what we're currently talking about. So people are not gonna come like, have they already talked about Dragon Ball World Finals? Because if you have eyes from now on, you're actually able to know what we're talking about. And without further ado, let's start with part 1, Renegades. Episode 1 that was launched on Monday on DNF Duel, the first regular tournament in the Reversal series that will be every single Monday. We run through the European version. Are you into DNF Duel at all, ApologyMan? I don't think I've seen you play it.
So I was playing it. I was playing some Ghostblade, and I was having a good time. Yeah. Then I found out that Hook and God plays Ghostblade, and then I was like, man, not again. All right, I'm good. I'm switching characters. I've seen this before. I've seen this 8 times. So I switched to Hitman, and then he switched to Hitman, and I was like, nah, I'm done. I'm done with this game. You got it. Like,
I think it's fair. I think at this point, I don't know, man. There is something about you guys. I'm not entirely sure. Of course, Renegade is the King of the Hill series that happens every Monday. For the European version, you can qualify through Salty EU. They run an open qualifier every Sunday. If you qualify, you can run straight Renegade. And we had the first bracket that was taken by the one man who is currently undefeated in the history of DNF Duel EMEA. Of course, we had Mireille and Cax, who qualified through Salty EU, Zeno, who was invited through other performances, and Mystic, who has literally not lost on DNF Duel yet. He won every tournament he entered in winners.
Against 4 different people in grand finals as well. So,
and I know he's playing one right now because I see him streaming. I would like to know if he's actually able to lose.
Why did Mystic not enter the event that Miri won? Do we know?
That's a very good question. I think he was like, I won enough. Maybe I'm giving you some others. I think it was the day after he won 2 tournaments on Saturday. And he was just like, I'm gonna just attack. Mystic lost to Zeno today. Thank you, Dunk. Well, Mystic has finally fallen. But you know what? He still won our...
Well, that's exciting because they're in the bracket as well.
They were. And what happened in the finals on Monday was that the finals was between Mystic and Zeno. And Mystic took the win. 7-3. Zeno, who plays Lost Warrior, who is the character that people...
Bullshit.
Dude, that character's hilarious. He just robs you.
He teleports. He stops time. I don't know. Like he does a ton.
I saw full screen 100% TODs is what I saw. So yeah.
And they all have that. It's DNF Duel.
Yeah, they keep telling me like he's not good. I'm like, are you guys sure? I think Lost Warrior's pretty good. Man.
He looked. What was funny is that we were streaming it, and the production PC has not unlocked Lost Warrior. And basically, I don't know, but if you have not unlocked Lost Warrior, in the versus screen, you still see a shadow. You don't see him.
Yeah.
And in the game, his name is question marks.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
that was like, unknown OD fighter.
Yeah, it was actually quite funny to see this. I think you need to finish story mode to unlock him.
Yeah. It doesn't take too long. I heard it only takes like 20 minutes. Not too bad if you do like Crusader's story or something.
There's no excuse then. Let's get it done, please.
That could be 20 minutes.
Nah, it's way
in the
funnier
lab.
Though to just be question mark.
Yeah, you could spend them in lab. But of course, as Mystic won Renegade Episode 1, he is the champion and will be back not next week, but in 2 weeks, because on Reversal, we're going to alternate EU weeks and NA weeks, which means on this coming Monday, we are launching Renegade NA edition on DNF Duel as well for the Monday. Monday will remain the DNF Duel day, and we will run through the NA version in partnership with Yipes, as his event, the Can Opener Series, is going to be the qualifier to join the Monday one. And that's what we want, because Can Opener Series is an absolutely stacked event. And big shout outs to Yipes, of course, for working with us on that. We already have quite a few. I'm not sure who sent the answers just yet, but we currently are contacting all of the players for Monday. You can expect the bracket to be seen on our Reversal Twitter. And if you want to enter, of course, you can enter the Can Opener Series. It's the same format. Two players enter through the qualifier Can Opener Series, and the 2 others are invited through performances. And our Tyrant has invited Master Mike from New York after he won Heatwave, which is the offline DNF Duel event. That's the one that we should take a look at. But of course, online events are good, Logan, but there's offline coming very soon.
May we?
Not only on the channel, but after. And it's Brussels Challenge. It's this weekend. It's one of the European majors coming back. Although this man is not going.
Although there are some issues with being offline, right? And I know Americans are feeling this as well, because travel. Boy.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I've been watching Americans have flights cancelled and crazy delays, from the safety and distance of my European homestead, flying home with no problems from Combo Breaker and CEO direct flight. It was great watching the Americans try and catch their connecting flights and stuff being cancelled on the runway. Well, it's finally hit us as well. Eurostar, all over the place. Flights, nowhere to be seen. Even getting on a ferry across the ocean costs almost as much for me as it would normally for me to fly to New York. So it's a crazy time. It's just reminded me that offline is not perfect in every situation.
It absolutely is not. For the record, ApologyMan, the flight that, when we're checking for a flight for Logan, the flight price was literally cheaper, more expensive, than the flight I took to Japan in 2019. And that's for a 1 hour flight, So yeah, we are still allowed to go to Brussels Challenge. And the good news of the day is Brussels Challenge, part of Brussels Challenge at least, will be streamed right here on twitch.tv/reversalgg. We will stream Street Fighter 5, which is all day Saturday, and then on Sunday we'll stream both Guilty Gear Strive and DNF Duel. So all 3 of these tournaments will be right there. All of this will be offline. Of course, Brussels Challenge runs a ton of events, from Tekken 7, KOF, GBVS, Smash Ultimate on plenty of channels. Our channel will take care of Street Fighter on Saturday. and of Strive. Oh,
hello.
Look who's here.
I was wondering how long that took. What's up, guys?
Decided to
Sorry,
join
I'm late.
he has been found.
How was Thor?
Yeah, I heard the same thing. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's not good. It's not as good as Ragnarok, right? Yeah.
Yeah, Ragnarok was way better.
You're just a generally miserable guy, Tyrant. That's
What? Come on, man.
You're a grumpy
I'm
old.
the nicest guy in the world.
You are the
Calling a
nicest guy
Marvel
in the
movie
world.
mid is not
But
a hot
you're
take.
a
So
you're
it's
a
okay.
grumpy man sometimes, and this is definitely highlighting that because that film was great fun. How dare you?
All right, bro. No spoilers, but yeah.
No
it was-
spoilers.
Yeah,
It
what
was
are we
the goat, some would say.
Oh,
I have not watched it yet. I
See.
will take a look and see how it goes.
Brussels Challenge.
Brussels Challenge indeed. Tyrant is another victim.
Are you
of
looking
the,
forward to Brussels Challenge?
Yeah, mate. I'm looking forward to tuning in on twitch.tv/reversalgg because we ain't getting there, boy.
Oh,
Oh man.
You know, ApologyMan,
Yeah.
it was like, all right, for this cost, we could send them to Brussels or to Evo.
I mean, Tokyo Game Show is coming up next year, man, and I would rather put that £900 towards that flight. To be honest with you.
Even if it was like,
Expensive, man.
bro, even if it was feasible, I just wouldn't feel right paying that much to go to Brussels, man. It just
I
doesn't
agree.
feel like, nah, it's just not worth it, bro.
I agree.
Let's-
Who even goes to Brussels in July, bro? I was telling CCL, what's happening in Brussels?
It's like something on that we don't know about. Like, yeah, Brussels Challenge is happening and it's going to be awesome, but like, is there not like some crazy festival or something happening? Because it's a bit mad.
Yeah, I really don't know, but shout outs to C4, as what is gonna happen is C4 is arming the C4 mobile to come with Dunk and Lazarus for the weekend, so they're gonna do the drive,
road
pay
trip?
£1 billion,
Nice.
pay £1 billion to go through the ferry and everything to save.
I think CCL even hit them up and asked them if there was space in the car.
Yep, yeah, he did.
And thankfully the car was full because let me tell you, driving for 9 hours to Belgium in the current heat that we have in Europe with 4 other men in a car. I'd rather get locked up in prison for the weekend. Like, legitimately.
Logan would rather get locked up in prison for the weekend than sit in a car that long talking about anime with those.
Yes,
because that would
imagine
be
being with Dunk and C4. The both of them are like.
The noise cancelling in my AirPods is excellent. I have to say.
I swear you would get to Brussels and you would just join me and be like, you are like Roman consuls now.
If it was anyone other than C4 and Dunk who are fine, upstanding citizens, yeah, I would make a joke about that car smelling like the Dragon Ball Fighters preview room versus fighting.
I know
Yeah.
what you're talking about as well.
But they are fine, upstanding citizens, and they definitely know where the shower gel is. So I'm sure
Dunk's a good smelling guy. I can co-sign.
Exactly.
You have smelled. You can't go. You know the smell of the game.
Yeah, I've smelled the game.
Good. Well, of course, see me at Brussels Challenge then, because I booked a while ago and I only got it for like freaking £350, which is still like
Wow.
the cost of a flight to
It's
New
usually
York.
like 200 max, right?
It's usually 100 if you book early, 200 if you book like 2 days before, and I got it for like 300.
That's so crazy.
I mean, to be fair, if I could have bought tickets, they were coming in at about £300-400, so about the same as what you paid. But the website's a mess.
Yeah.
It's such a shame, man, because what an incredible event Brussels Challenge has been. I'm genuinely gutted that I can't go because I love all those guys. Obviously, it's a very emotional event around the family. Out there in Brussels, and I would have loved to have been able to be there and celebrate everything that CCL built up with Kefta Rose, and the community in Belgium that Kefta Rose was so instrumental in building up, and it's really painful, man, that we can't be there. I'm really upset, but I know that it's going to be a great event, is what I do know, because those guys really do business.
It is. It's It is a very good one. I'm looking forward to this. Last little bit of news regarding Russell. I don't know if you guys have seen it, but it was tweeted literally right before it went live, so I don't have time to get all of the assets and stuff. But Ultimate Fighting Arena, UFA, right? Our big tournament that is in November 11 to 13. It's been announced today that the Street Fighter 5 tournament will have a 7,000 euros prize pool. So, of course, if you're into SF5, you better go to UFA. I mean, even if like you're not there to win, because only one person, will get that first place money. UFA is an event you should attend, and yeah, you can expect big things coming. But enough about just Russell. Let's talk about the FGC overall. And first thing, of course, the Dragon Ball Fighters World Finals. Myself and Tyrant were there. ApologyMan was there as a player. So of course, it goes to you, ApologyMan. You experienced the player there because you had to like dive back into the game, to get into the finals after Sonic Fox decided to leave their spot. How satisfied are you in the end? Because like obviously your training time was a bit short.
Yeah. So I feel like the practice that I had basically the 2 days before with everyone in the practice room, like that was probably the best practice I got like in general. Like all the days before was just like, because I was playing Blue Goku the last time at the US regional finals, and I was like, this character is good, but like he's super boring and I don't like him. So I picked Gogeta in like a week, and I had a lot of groundwork to make up. And I was really hoping by the time I got there that I'm like, okay, so I'm gonna play after Lab Coat gets nerfed, so I don't have to deal with her, right? Like that's the play, right? I get there, she's still so good.
Yeah, she's still busted,
she's
man.
still like one of the best characters. I was like, damn it. my master plan of not having to learn the matchup did not work out. So
unfortunately, she was
EX spin on me, and I got happy birthday, and I was very sad. But
at least you weren't debuffed while doing it, right?
Exactly.
That's true. That's true.
Exactly.
That's true. I just died instead. Yeah.
Yeah, busted enough to be annoying, but not busted enough to be banned. That's exactly a description. But of course, the person who won this does not play Lab Coat. It's Wawa with a super dominant display. And I was just thinking about something today, and I want to ask all three of you guys, but has there ever been a situation in fighting games where the #1 player in the world is a player who is literally freestyling combos and saucing on everyone? Like, I feel like at least every game I've watched, right, the top one in the world is not the kind, like Street Fighter has Sako, but Sako is never the top one in the world. Sako is like there, here, and there. I feel like Wawa is. I can't find another one.
I mean, like Punk kind of does that, but Street Fighter 5 isn't really the game to freestyle combos in because it just doesn't have that kind of thing. But I think that's very similar to the way that that Punk plays, in that it's very like free form, very expressive. Might not always do the right thing, but it works just because of like how good they are. It might not make sense, but it generally pays off, and they're not afraid to try wild things. I think that's the closest I can really think there. But definitely in terms of that.
In Marvel,
we still play Marvels
I mean, Chris
now.
G and Justin Wong, like those people, like they do not style on you. Like they
just efficiency,
Yeah, Chris G was efficiency. He was not like just picking characters, freestyling, showing a new combo every time he plays. I think that's true, Swift Kojo. Sonic might be another strong contender for that. But Sonic is also the kind of player who creates an efficient strategy and then runs by that strategy, right?
They're definitely very creative, for sure. But I think like in terms of just like obviously being super creative and just styling on like your opponent, I think Wawa is like probably the only player who's a top one player doing that, because I always like that. Like I always liked watching Marlon Pie and Marvel 3, and it does some like mental damage to your opponent. Like I asked Wawa even at the event, I'm like, damn, why'd you have to do him like that? He's just like,
I heard that conversation actually. He was like, "Hey, it's optimal, bro." Like,
and it's not obviously.
Yeah,
but
obviously not right.
It's optimal in the sense that it does the mental damage. You gotta turn the guy into a clip.
I also think that like Wawa. Sorry, mate. I was just saying, like, I also feel like Wawa finally found the perfect blend of like efficient, get the job done play style, and then the free flowing styling on you, tap dancing on your forehead with Gohan. Like he found like the perfect blend of that with this team, because he will do like the same old boring Vegito combo you've seen 60 times, that day. But then he'll also do the crowd pleasing Twitter clip insanity with Adult Gohan, and it's just really good for the viewership. I feel like it's great, man. I love it.
Yeah, definitely.
He hates playing Vegito, also, by the way.
He's playing him as a glue between two characters he actually likes, which is a solid strategy. The mention of Mango as well in chat for Smash.
Mango's a good one, actually. Yeah, that's a good point.
So can I ask, as somewhat of a layman, when you say like Wawa is like styling on people and freestyling combos, like is he going for suboptimal stuff?
Yeah.
Is he like a mad like lab monster finding stuff that no one else uses? Is he going for stuff that's incredibly difficult execution wise? Like what's the angle there when you say like styling on people?
Pretty much all of that.
Actually,
it's all of that. Yeah, he will he will have an opportunity to kill with the easiest BNB, but he will still go for the freaking stylish random side switch of anything because, like he's always adding that extra flavor to his gameplay. I think the best Street Fighter comparison I have is probably Sako. Sako was always like, oh, if I'm playing Evil Ryu, I have to max loop absolutely everyone. I'm just gonna do a simple combo. Very similar. But yeah, big GG's obviously to Wawa for his win at the World Finals, making him the favorite in the big Evo coming. Evo is back offline, and Evo, they have published the numbers of players for each game. If we can take a look at the numbers and discuss them, I think they come with no surprise on these, but Strive sitting at over 2,000, SF5 second, Tekken 7 third. It's actually kind of crazy that the second and third are like actually games that are over 5 years old. Then KOF, so that's the 4 games in the arena, and then comes Dragon Ball, Grand Blue, MK11, Melty Blood, and Skullgirls with 63 attending countries.
I'm not particularly surprised by these numbers because we are in like a very transitory period. There's no super brand new games there apart from Strive. It's probably like the newest one there, and KOF obviously, and that's had a massive bump from the usual numbers. No surprise to see Street Fighter 5 and Tekken 7 neck and neck because they generally have been. Obviously, it's a massive drop off from like the I think 2,400 was the lowest that Street Fighter saw previously before COVID, but everything's down. We're kind of in a flux period. I'm not surprised to see Mortal Kombat so low as they're probably waiting for a new title. Dragon Ball Fighters, I guess, is a tricky one. I'm quite surprised to see Dragon Ball Fighters that low. But other than that, it's no real surprise to me if you've been paying attention to some of the events that have happened already so far, like CEO and Combo Breaker.
I think Melty Blood, I agree with the chat, right? Melty Blood's a bit surprising. 400? I don't know, like, I might have been, because personally, I followed Melty Blood at the beginning, and I was like, I don't like the game enough to, like, be involved, so I'll just, like, maybe watch random top 8 or whatever. And I don't know, I feel like the game has been going lower and lower, but seeing 400 for Melty Blood is actually quite good. I'm not sure.
I agree.
I'm not really too clued up on the community, to be honest.
Melty Blood at Combo Breaker was, let me pull it up, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
it was like
6,
600, right?
7, 8. No, it wasn't that high. Melty Blood at Combo Breaker had more entrants than Dragon Ball Fighters.
Yep.
Dragon Ball was like just over 200 at Combo Breaker, right? It was like 200.
It was the lab coat era.
Melty Blood was 254. And Street Fighter 5 was only 440. So like Melty Blood definitely has like significant pockets of players. I'm really not surprised to see it killing those numbers. I mean, it's not like it's massively high in comparison to the rest of the field. It's down there at 8th. But yeah, it warrants its place. It has a number of players there. The one that I'm kind of sad about is Grand Blue, right? Because that game, COVID killed that game. Well, COVID killed that game because it has no netcode. And the time has passed at which it ain't coming back.
Yeah. I really like Grand Blue as well.
Really
I can remember being at Evo Japan and everyone's like super excited. Evo Japan 2020, that would have been. Everyone's like super excited, like really happy, and yeah, it just got wiped out for 2 years, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But I gotta say though, like I feel like at the last at CEO and Combo Breaker, like I kind of like talked to Zombie and like some Grand Blue players. Like it's actually pretty cool that they like it even is where it is right now. Like what just the situation they had to face with like COVID and delay pace and all that, all the timing. Like it's actually pretty cool that it even has the numbers that it does. I'm actually pretty impressed, to be honest, by the Grand Blue community, like keeping it going.
Yeah,
I agree. It definitely got like really hurt by COVID.
It's nice that they get a chance to have this, you know, because they literally were just sitting out for like 3 years. Like the game came out and they were just like, oh, we haven't even had a chance to play this at a major or have like a main stage on this game or whatever. But it's nice that they get that opportunity now, you know, at least.
Yeah, I agree. Sure. And it had a huge patch recently too.
Yes,
that like completely changed. It added like an overdrive mechanic, and they added like essentially like Street Fighter V V Shift, and it's a totally new game now, and it still keeps getting like developer support, which is really cool. So yeah, no, shout outs to them for like even like getting those kind of numbers. That's awesome.
Yeah, that's great. Then people are still pushing it through. They love their game. If they love their game and they can support their game, then it's great that they get, like you said, that they're actually getting their chance now to be at these big events, because damn it, they definitely deserve it. So
yeah, got to love it. We'll be keeping of course a close eye on all of the events at EVO as we will be attending there. But speaking of EVO, there's always something big at EVO, right? The announcements, and I feel like every game is like,
you need to update that summary.
Update
that summary. Come on, one more. There we go.
So weird.
Look at bullying point. Sorry, Valentin. Look. There we go.
Just sitting there like, okay, all right.
If announcements.
Get a load of this.
We're up to date now, and yes, it's the announcements, and of course we want a lot, right? But I will start by you, Logan. What announcement do you want to see at EVO?
He wants the Ken trailer.
Yeah, once you waste.
He wants the Ken trailer.
Yeah, I want divorced Ken sitting on the street corner, kicking a can along. Hobo Ken, exactly.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. It'd be nice to see some more game mechanics. I think the Guile trailer was pretty hype.
Yeah.
I would like to see. Do you know what I would actually like to see at EVO? You remember Season 3 for Street Fighter 5?
Oh.
The actual trailer video.
Oh, that's like one of the best fighting game trailers I've ever seen. Period.
Yeah, I want to see a proper cinematic trailer with like a bunch of characters in. I don't need to see these. Like, I'll be honest with you. At the event, I'm not hyped for here's the character's V skill. Here's the character's I'm not at an event. That's not hype.
I want to speculate.
I want to see like 4 or 5 characters, just how they look, how they move, and just shout. And then I can go home and look on YouTube and analyze the frames on the YouTube video and see whether this character has a 3-frame jab or not and all that nonsense. Like, I'll do that at home. What I would love is a Street Fighter 6 proper cinematic trailer. I think that will pop us all off. So
that'd be cool.
Yeah, it will be cool. I mean, Street Fighter 6, we've seen a lot obviously of it. Maybe a date, given at EVO. Very sure that there's also the leaks as well that came out. So like, even if they put a big trailer, like you said, even if
there's a big difference between seeing concept art and seeing moving characters on the screen as well. Do you know what I mean? So there's that also.
Dude, I just want to see Projectile news, man. Dude, I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah. I mean, that's a given, right? They're not
I feel like a lot of people are speculating like there's gonna be some Projectile news there.
Esports sellouts.
I mean, we'll see. I mean, it's
you want your one button special moves with cooldown on. Yeah.
Esports.
Keyboard. Street Fighter Modern mode, yeah.
Modern mode, indeed. What announcement do you want?
Are you guys looking forward to?
I want to ask Tyrant for the announcement. Listen, Tyrant, I know you want Dragon Ball Fighters extra stuff. Now, this is obvious. Everyone wants that. What else do you want?
Let me think here. Maybe a new game. I would like to see some kind of announcement. I don't know yet, really. Or like, do you know what I really want? Okay. We like DNF's cool, right? I want to see like a DNF season pass trailer or like character reveals or something. Because
isn't it surprising actually? DNF Duel is the only fighting game coming out over the last few years with literally no season pass on release.
Yeah.
I would like to see like them tease some new characters or show some new stuff for that game because it's cool.
They have a lot of characters to choose from. The DFO universe.
Yeah, we actually like on my stream recently, we went into the onto the DFO website and looked at some of them. They got some really cool looking character concepts. So I would love to see some of those transition to the game. But yeah, man, I just would love to see some new DNF content.
Oh, do you know what would be nice actually? Because I've literally just clicked the website, the DFO website. Yeah. How about if they did some reskins for like the male and female versions?
Oh yeah, that could be cool. Yeah, because
that'd be kind of cool. Yeah. Obviously, they wouldn't change the hurt boxes and any of that stuff, but like, yeah, I think that would be pretty cool.
Yeah, One Piece Fighters Hopium, we all hope. You know, if we can, if we can have a anime fighters thing, I'll just explode. I mean, a lot of us would explode. Logan would probably like just run shirtless in the venue, like Naruto, my favorite.
Like running like Naruto, with the hands behind the back, you know. Like
that would be the dream. You know what I want to see actually? Like, even though that's not a game I'm heavily into or anything, Tekken 8. Like, I feel like everyone in the Tekken community is just playing, waiting to hear about the next Tekken right now. It's only about time, man.
Yeah, I mean, when's the last like DLC character that came out for the game? It was like Lydia, right? Or
Lydia? That was like 2020, I think.
It was a long time ago.
Yeah, it's got to be about that time.
I feel like the game hasn't gotten like new stuff in such a long time. I feel like now it's oh my god, like if you're counting like how long it's been out, including when it came out in the arcade, it's been, I feel like almost 10 years. It feels like
it's 7 years. It's 8 years in February.
Yeah, 8 years. Yeah, that's so old.
Wow.
Yeah, I'd expect a Tekken 8 at some point soon, but yeah.
I'm very curious about this one. I'll be hyped for all of these ones, potentially, you know, strive new characters and everything. We're here for that. Maybe MK too. We haven't talked about MK, right? But I think MK is kind of like Tekken. Like, the game is still there, but everyone in the NRS community is like, when's the next one?
Yeah, I mean, like, especially with NRS titles, like, they come out so much more regularly. You think about the time span between MK9, Injustice, MK10, Injustice 2, and then MK11. Like, they seem to be coming out like rapid fire, man. And then nothing for quite a while. So we're definitely due something, I'm sure.
Yeah, maybe soon. But aside from Evo, of course, up next is just DNF Duel. As a topic overall, the game has been out for about 3 weeks now, and you know the usual periods of like the trial period for fighting games is 2 weeks, right? The big 2 weeks TM. Usually you go for 2 weeks, and at the end of the 2 weeks, that's when you know that's when people know if like, oh, this is my game, or if I like that game, but I'm gonna go back to the main game. And Tyrant, you're the one here who plays the most DNF Duel. What's the overall feedback for this with DNF Duel? Is it here to stay?
What are the
yeah, it's fun. It's very like unforgiving and crazy, and but you know, it's got that Marvel factor where you can get like absolutely washed, and like it wasn't really your fault. You just get destroyed, but it's still like, okay, like, I'm gonna go for another game. I'm gonna try and like figure this out. And yeah, like this is a perfect example. They're showing Swiftmaster just do Swiftmaster things. Just literally just throwing your life bar into a safe setup and then just pressuring you. But yeah, man, it's really fun. I feel like after the first patch, we're really going to be able to decide, you know, is this game going to stick around? Because then we get to really see what the devs want us to do here, you know.
I think first versions are very often, you know, objectively bad, as in any fighting game you play, at the end of the fighting game, when you look at the first version, you're like, damn, I played this?
Yeah. I think about that
every
for
game, Dragon Ball
the
Season
time.
1. You played Dragon Ball Season 1, ApologyMan? Like,
dude, yeah, I still think about it. I'm like, wow, Adult Gohan just did these things, and we just like paid for flights to tournaments.
That's Street Fighter 5. Season 1, you paid for flights to just get 50-50, but Armika or have Chun-Li just like pressing buttons and having God neutral. Like every game, the first season is usually weird, so it's all about the game being fun enough for people to accept that it's dumb, right?
Like character power is usually always out of control with the first versions, but it's much more important that the game just feels fun to play to like keep people going, right? Because Dragon Ball obviously was super broken, but people loved it a lot, and you know the game got changed and got improved over time, and that's just like how it's gonna be. I don't know. I'm pretty used to it, and I feel like DNF will. I don't know. Actually, it'll follow the same suit. I feel like this game is very much just trying to be broken.
Yeah, it feels like they tried to make they literally tried to make every character insane, But yeah, I feel like there will be some tweaks here and there. You know, maybe some changes, slight changes to the mechanics and how they work.
Oh God, just nerf Swiftmaster. Holy
crap! He's so broken. So I've seen the talk of that character getting banned actually, but I don't know about that.
Oh yeah, shouts to Zombie. He's doing like a fun like meme tournament. Like, what would it be like if we banned Swiftmaster?
I rate it honestly.
I like meme tournaments like this. I think the strongest point that DNF Duel has right now, do you know what I think it is that I feel like the people who are big in fighting games actually support the game. Like Yipes is heavily into this, Punk is heavily into the game. And I think it's actually important for a game to be like alive and well, is that the people who actually have a strong position of influence actually genuinely like the game and are just there. And Yipes and Punk are completely doing that job.
I think it really underlines like how important it is for a game to be fun more so than like balanced.
Yeah.
I think that if a game feels fun and expressive, then players will play around the bullshit. Like those guys played Marvel 2 for a decade, and that game is absolutely... Can I swear on our stream, by the way?
Go for it.
Yeah, that game's fucking nonsense. Like Marvel 2 is fucking nonsense. And they played around it for that long. And you know, there's way more. There's so many limited options in Marvel 2 compared to like modern versus games. So they put up with it because it was fun, and I think that's the same thing with DNF. Like those guys are looking at it. I know Yipes is having mad fun. Punk only plays games that he thinks are fun. Like if he enjoys himself, that's all that matters to him. And I think it really underlines that, where we're striving for games to be super balanced. That wasn't a pun or a dig, by the way. It was unintentional. We're striving for like balance and continual patches, and things need to be reined in. And I think when you have a situation where Labcoat, like for example, is just so far ahead of everyone else, that's not fun. That's broken and not fun. Yeah. But if everything's broken, that shit's mad fun. And like, yeah, let it rock. And I feel very much like that's the aura that I'm getting off of DNF Duel. No. Everyone knows it's Kusoge, but like you're going into it knowing that, right? And you're having fun with it. And I think that's great.
Yeah, vibes over balance.
Sure. I think that the mechanics are really unique in that game as well. Yeah. They're really interesting. Like the conversion is like really cool. I love that mechanic. So yeah, I feel like it's got some really really good elements to it. So yeah.
Logan is refilling on drinks as we're about to talk about the topic as well. Street Fighter 6, of course. It's been a lot of hype following SF6, and for the first time last week in France at Japan Expo, we had a stream with actual top players playing SF6, because it feels like until now the only people who had access and put videos about Street Fighter 6 were either, you know, content creators, influencers, YouTubers.
What, like the guy on the right?
Exactly, that's Benzai. That's one of the French streamers. He's actually pretty well versed into fighting games. He's just not a top player. He does like videos and stuff, but he played against Luffy.
What has he won though?
What has he won? He won the you know that YouTube gold plate that you get when you have 500,000 subs.
I played it. This is the guy I played on Street Fighter 2. Vinny, this is the guy. You know when we were at Luffy's place.
Oh, that guy? Okay. Oh, yeah. Oh, okay.
He tried picking old Sag out on me and punched him up.
Oh, yeah, I remember. Yeah, I was like, this guy looks familiar.
He's esports.
It's Luffy's bar.
And of course, like, it's good to see that, but I think it's kind of weird, Logan, for this. I want to ask you, because we've had a lot of communication about Street Fighter 6 and not a single communication using a professional player.
No.
How come?
I think that they very much just want to get awareness of the existence of the game out there, and not so much like the focus on the mechanical aspect of it yet. They're obviously, you know, I say that, but they're promoting the game mechanics, but like the sort of people that are able to really break down how the game mechanics work to levels that the layman cannot are not generally being allowed to get their hands on it in any kind of significant way. So it's very interesting to see, a world champion and a multiple major champion both get to play the game together against each other on such a public stage. Very interesting.
Yeah, that's.
But it is of course like a a controlled environment because they are having to play against each other. It is for entertainment. They're not like in a sweaty session in the French community house behind closed doors trying to train up for week 1 tournaments so they can proclaim themselves to have real skill, etc., etc. So it's a bit different in that sense.
Yeah, that is true. Mr. Crimson uploaded a lengthy YouTube video as well with all of his thoughts and everything in French, so with subtitles. You can go take a look if you want to see. But of course, players being there, we're seeing more and more of Street Fighter 6.
I didn't know the what's that move called? The drive impact. I didn't know it pushes back on block. It like almost guard breaks. You seen that?
Yeah.
It does guard break in the corner.
It guard break in the corner.
It guard breaks in the corner.
Yeah.
So
no
basically, how that
even
works?
If you're not on exhaust.
Yes, guard breaks no matter what in the corner. So basically, it always pushes you back, and if you're exhausted or in the corner, you get guard broken and you can get full combo. We don't know what the scaling is or any of that kind of stuff. But it always pushes you back without fail every time.
So it's basically if you're in the corner and it hits and even if
you hit
block,
the wall,
you wall bounce and that gives a combo.
Wow.
If you're in the corner and exhausted and,
dizzy, right?
you get hit, you actually directly go into stun and then you get a big combo.
Okay, that's
so basically when you're in the corner, the ways to react to this are either obviously to jump out of the corner, or you can parry, or you can use your own drive impact to because drive impact has armor. You can use your drive impact too. I think month 1 of Street Fighter 6 Online will be how well can you deal with drive impact, because in the corner, if you're in the corner, you literally have a 2-button move that will give a wall bounce.
I wonder if you could just back throw it on reaction, because there's a pretty big flash that comes up. You know what I mean? It's like, I'm just gonna throw you
parry.
out.
Well, you're trying to just do the thing that people did to Abigail. Yeah.
Yeah, do you remember?
Yeah. That was pretty hype when people did it, though, to be fair.
I've seen that once ever. I remember. So I played season 2. They told me to do that. I'm like, dude,
it's so risky.
Yeah,
you could die.
I get gaslit here. I don't know if this works.
You're literally playing chicken in that situation.
Well, we'll see how it goes. Of course, more news hopefully at Evo. But next, a focus on our guests himself, Mr. ApologyMan, who is currently making sure. Are you on the road to Daigo with the sponsors on your name?
Yeah, I hope they can fit all the acronyms and stream over.
Yeah, you're about to look like a Super Street Fighter 4 sponsored player.
The Mad Catz jersey with all the
VXG, EMP, MCZ, WW. Remember these days? They were the good old days.
Literally everybody had. If you didn't have 3 sets of 3 letters in front of your name, you shouldn't even sign up for the tournament in those days. So.
Yeah, it was definitely not good. Let's talk about CLG first, of course. CLG just picking up 4 FGC players, including you, ApologyMan. How did it go? How did that signing happen for you? A bit. Can you give us a bit of the what happened? How long did it take?
Yeah, I mean, so I've known some of the people that are working in CLG, the CLG FGC division, for a little bit, and to be honest, the whole process of it happened in a pretty short amount of time. It was maybe mentioned to me before, but I was like, okay, maybe we'll see what happens. And then once everything got basically got rolling, it was just one thing after another, and it basically happened in a total of a month. It was pretty crazy, but yeah, it's awesome. Shout outs to CLG. But
it's
great
for
great.
An organization to come in and let you know that you're wanted and valued properly like that. There's not a long ongoing negotiations. They're taking a while to get back to you with contracts and offers and emails and stuff. It's we want you. Here's the proper offer. Let's get it all through. That's got to make you feel so, so comfortable as a player. You can just really focus on getting your stuff done where it matters and not be distracted.
For sure. They're very, very transparent with me, which I definitely really appreciate. I know that's not the case with every sponsor, but that was one thing I really did appreciate about it. And the signing it just went by, and I feel just a pretty short period of time, and now I'm just there's a lot of stuff to do, and they have a lot of different plans in the future. They already started their their online tournament series, Run It Thursdays. It's a bi-weekly series. And right now they're having it for Street Fighter V and Guilty Gear Strive, and it's like a ladder format. Have you guys like played in the ladder formats? Like it's pretty rare.
I have to say,
I know Melee does it sometimes, but it's like rare in FGC.
I have to say it's such an amazing format, and the fact that the software exists now to run it is really great for an online event, because one of the big things that puts people off signing up for online events is like you miss that start time and that's it. Like you're kind of done. There's no point, And lots of people, they might come home from work at slightly different hour. You're in slightly different time zones as well, because you got like Central and Mountain Time and stuff also. With this format, having commentated the first week, and I'm commentating tomorrow as well again for Street Fighter V, to see like people signing up and starting playing like 45 minutes before the end of the group stages is so cool, because all that matters is your win rate. So
yeah,
you can really just go. It's like playing ranked. They've got a really great pairing system. It's such an awesome format. And,
do you want to just break it down, like for the people at home? Like,
absolutely. So you sign up through Start GG, and how it works is you're paired up with an opponent, as you would be in any tournament. You go and play your opponent, you report your score, and it automatically gives you someone else to play. So you're literally just playing like ranked. It's literally just a ladder system, and you can keep playing for as long as you want. There's a few guys that have played maybe 7 or 8 games and they've stopped because they've got like 7-1. They know they're going to make top 8 with that. Or you can keep playing. And if you're losing, you're not losing 2 games and out the tournament. And that's the most important thing. You can, and I was saying this to Rob, who was joking about it. Like, for someone like me, I can go 0-15 and have the best time of my life because I'm just playing for 5 hours, however long it is. I'm not done after 20 minutes of losing 2 pool games in Salty and golf. It's so cool, like, to just give people the opportunity to play more and more and more games, and that's how you improve. And I just love the format, and it's so great that they've introduced it. Not just because I've been asked to commentate. I thought it was super cool in the first place. The ladder system is something that I've really wanted to look at as someone that puts on my own events, because it gives so much value to entrants. But online, it's even smarter because it allows you to take part by starting at any point of the time period. You don't have to be here at 7 p.m. sharp for pools to start. You can be there at 7:30 or even 8:30 or 9. Play for as long or as little as you want, and everyone gets to take part. And I really enjoy that format. It's such a great format.
That's cool. Yeah. So does the ladder run in a Swiss format? Is that like the winners get paired together and like this, or is it just paired with a random person in the pool?
You keep getting paired with people round and about. It's a modified Swiss. So yes, if you're familiar with Swiss in chess, it's a modified version of that.
Yeah, for those who don't know Swiss is pretty much like everyone starts at 0 and then the winners play the winners, and then like every time you win, you go up a step and you play people from that step. And like I think it actually makes sense. I like this because, as you said, right, sometimes play online. Especially, like, I think Strive doesn't suffer for this, but Street Fighter would suffer from this. Sometimes you will enter a Street Fighter 5 tournament and you will play an extremely laggy person in winners and lose, and then you will go in losers and you will play another laggy person and lose, and that was your tournament experience. So when you're in a ladder, at least these 2 people were not all of your tournament experience.
You just wait, sometimes you gotta like wait a long time too, and then you're not really doing anything. I think one thing that's fine about like brackets in person is like once you're out of the tournament, like sure you can most of the time they'll have casuals that you can play, and you can play with all the players that are participating in the event, right? That are involved, like the community that is actually in the tournament. In online tournaments, it's like you just play the people that you are told to, and then that's it. It's like it's like I don't know, it doesn't have the same energy, same vibe. I feel like with the ladder format in the online online, I think it's much better. You get to play so many more games. You get to meet more people, and I think that's honestly something I want to see more, like with online tournaments, like in the FGC, because I think it's just so good. Like, get so many matches. I don't know. I feel like the best experience I've gotten, like when I was started, was just all the casuals I would play at the tournament, like after the tournament, like after I'm knocked out. That's how I really improved, and that's something you can get that experience with the ladder format.
I was going to say you must walk away with so much different matchup experience, individual player experience, you know, so you can learn habits and stuff, and you know you're just going to get a lot more acquainted with like that kind of tournament player level. You know, if you're constantly playing against people of you know, another of a similar mindset, so I feel like that's really a good format for sure, and I hope more TOs experiment with it because it's definitely got a ton of benefits.
Yeah, you made a really good point, Tyrant, about the mentality as well, because jumping on ranked can be one of the, it doesn't matter what game you're playing, jumping on ranked can be one of the most frustrating experiences you can have playing fighting games, because you're playing people and you have no idea what their mentality is. Like, they can just do the stupidest stuff, you know, and win one game and then just leave the lobby, and it just ruins your mood for the rest of the session. Whereas, you know, when you're playing in this, like, they've gone to the effort to sign up. They're there to actually play like they want to get results. They're not just being idiots for the most part, and everyone's probably going to improve through playing through that. And yeah, as you said, love to see more TOs embracing that format.
Yeah, I like this format. I would really like to even like this or Swiss, you know, experimented more in fighting games, because I think they're cool formats. You know, like I think someone in chat mentioned that TI in Dota uses Swiss. I know Rocket League uses Swiss as well. And it's actually quite fun to follow, because you get to see people play more, and you know, matches can be worth much more. But obviously, in a format like we have, which is, you know, a 2-day major, that never fits. Like, that's more for online events.
It's really hard in open brackets. It's basically impossible in open brackets. I think for invitationals across a weekend, definitely doable. For finals, definitely doable. You know, you got 8 people in a location, and you've got that location for 3 days, you can definitely run Swiss over that period of time. And whether that goes down to a final 8 and you have the traditional elimination bracket on the last day, you can do that. There's loads of options, but I think, you know, having invited players in a space that are there to just play for a specific amount of time, I would definitely like to see more games played than are at most events. And I mean, now we've kind of moved towards normalizing having round robin pools, and that was pretty much only a thing in Europe for years. Like Capcom Cup didn't have round robin pools for pretty much the entirety of its existence, and I think they were looking at implementing it in during COVID times.
Yeah, we had it in the Dragon Ball Finals. It's a Kumite now. Like I feel like I see it at a lot of.
But again, that's you know, we know who is responsible for organizing Dragon Ball Finals, and that comes out of Europe, right? So
it's true. Yeah.
But yeah, I think like seeing the best players in the world play more games gives you a more accurate result, because I feel like you guys travel the world like and play in majors every month, and outside of a few outlying examples, like when, you know, Goichi was just winning everything, or trying to think of another example, like Punk had a season when he won everything. Bonchan had a run in summer of 2019 when he was winning everything. Outside of that, pretty much anyone can win a major, because you're all on almost parity there. It's very rare that you have someone that's so far ahead. So to have your world finals of a world tour be basically the same double elimination format as all the other majors before it, almost feels like you don't get that definitive winner, because it's just the guy who was best on the day, which is a way of determining a winner, but it kind of leaves sometimes can lead a bitter taste. And I think you really see that play out in Street Fighter V, where we've not once ever had the number 1 ranked player for the season actually win Capcom Cup. It's never happened.
It reminds me of that season where you had like Tokido and Infiltration go out 0-2 in Capcom Cup. Do you remember that? That was crazy.
The year that Bonchan won Evo, he won Evo CEO versus fighting Celtic Throwdown, right? He went 0-2 at Capcom Cup.
Mad.
Yeah, that's why giving more games is good. I know, like, it leads to...
Now, that's on him, right? Going 0-2 is it's a bit different. It's a bit different to finishing fourth. You know, like that's a big fuck up going 0-2. But like
at the worst,
it's just based on seeding, right? Like you could just, I don't know. Like, seeding determines so much in the double elimination bracket, honestly.
But that's why like a double elimination for finals is good. But you mentioned round robins, and that reaches to like me talking about other formats, because the only thing I don't like about round robin pools, especially like in the format that we went for Dragon Ball or like Kumite Red Bull Kumite goes for it as well, is like when you have a pool of 4. It's not that much different from a double elim bracket, is it? Like if you lose twice, unless a miracle happens,
it's like essentially losing.
It's more or less a double elim bracket with one more chance of like I think round robin pools make sense from 5 players per pool, if not more, because then you actually have a proper mindset on who's top 2.
I definitely have subconscious kindly felt like this day doesn't really mean anything. You know, like the guys that I thought was going to get out of pools got out of pools. Yeah. The seeding was done properly. You know, you've got 2 great players from Japan and America, plus guy from guy from Australia and guy from Brazil. Well, here's a surprise: the Japanese and American made it out of the round robin. Okay, and that's generally what happens. It kind of normalizes the variance there a little bit. And then we just go to the double elimination bracket anyway, and we get the variance again. I definitely agree. Where it's like the four man round robin almost doesn't matter.
One thing I dislike also in the 4-man or just like in a round robin pool is when it gets to the late part of the pool and it's basically determined who's in, who isn't, like for the next day, and you have to like play a match that like doesn't matter. That's like one thing I don't like about it, but it's like you can't really fix it without motivating the players with like monetary value or something, or like
that's true.
Or maybe you put all the players in like booths and like you like cut off all the information so they don't know the score, so they just play their matches.
So that's why that's actually football. No way to fix it. Like if
that's
football, like
exactly.
World Cup and Euro, what World Cup and Euro does is like it's a round robin format into brackets, but the final round of round robin, the matches are played at the same time, so you actually don't know, because very often you depend on someone else. Because that's true. Like with round robin leagues, what always happens is this, right? The final game is useless because the previous game decided it all. So football solved this by, obviously it's football, you have a million TV channels, you can actually like air it at the same time and still get a billion viewers.
But going into the game you don't know, and that's the main thing, you know.
Yeah. It's important that the match that you're playing, you need to play at 100%. Yeah. It's just weird, like it creates some weird results, but I think another interesting example with like the Dragon Ball finals is I feel like a lot of the international players that like don't really get to travel, they had a lot to prove, right? So Mano Brawl, like he was probably out of the pool that like he had to get out of, but he wanted to like show his stuff, like he wanted to still do his best, and that was awesome. Like he beat Zayn,
ruined Zayn's
day. Pool. And then ruined Zayn's day, and then Equan made like the miracle win, beat Wawa, the only person that beat Wawa. And like that's like a cool story, but like it only worked because Equan or Mano Brawl was like, all right, I wanna do my best still, and like I feel like that's like not the case. I've definitely seen, in my experience, I've definitely been screwed over by the round robin format. I'm not going to name any names, but
we had this at when I ran Strive Cup on my stream in February. So what happened is that there was a situation where Portugal was second of their pool and Finland was last and eliminated, and all Portugal had to do is to win against a team that's eliminated, like literally, and Finland was like, nah, I'm gonna win this one. So Finland won, and literally they just dragged Portugal out and gave the win to Team North Africa.
It's not important.
I love that.
It's more important that the other people lose. That's the most.
Like I'll drag you down with me. I'm down. But
your downfall.
I love when that happens in football as well. Like I love that in the Euros and the World Cup. When you're desperate for that point. The Netherlands are desperate for that point, and they can't even get a draw against Saudi Arabia. And that's it. You're out of the tournament, man, and you have to just laugh at them. for messing up. I love that stuff. That's the one cool thing about round robins, when the hand comes out of the depths and just drags you down into oblivion with them. I like that.
I am not living without you, bro. You know, there was like on this case that was the best, because Portugal created the upset the week before, beating North Africa, and then losing the easy match and finishing 4th of their pool, because Finland, by beating them, was like, yeah, I might be out, but I'm not last.
Yeah.
And Finland left with pride. They're like, I'm out. GG's. That's pretty much good, you know. But, you know, round robin, plenty of formats, plenty of events to run. And speaking of events and everything, there is, you know, we talked about the ever growing list of ApologyMan sponsors, and we see that Red Bull, ApologyMan. Talk us through that, like that intro at CEO was sick. We have it there, like when I go for this one in a minute. There we go. That was the one. I was just watching, and Ringe said, "Oh, like there's a new item for fast." And I was like, "What kind of troll is ApologyMan?" I thought you would come out like with milk or whatever. So, like, how did it happen in the end?
No, yeah. So like this has been like something that I've been in talks with Red Bull for a while, and I'm happy like I was able to like get like a really cool announcement for it in this way. But yeah, like I don't know. I really like the CEO entrances. Like I think that idea and concept is so cool. Like when my Dragon Ball entrance in like 2018, I put a ton of effort into that as well, with like getting Kazunoko to do like the Yamcha pose, and like getting Tebow to be Chaozu and all that. Like so, I love that theatrics. So I didn't have as much time for this one, but I got all the Faust cosplayers after I made top 8 for Strive, and I was like, all right, like let me see what I'm working with. And I saw it was like maybe 4 or 5 different Faust bags. Like, all right, I'll take this one, I'll take this one, I'll take this scalpel, and I'll take it. Like we were all just like putting it together. And it was cool. Shout outs to Emperor. That's he gave me the Faust scalpel there. He takes out the mini Faust at the end too. He's got the little plushie. Yay.
Oh yeah, that's an epic pose. That's an epic pose.
Yeah,
you still should have pulled the Red Bull on the.
I don't know. I really like the CEO entrances. So I like putting the effort into it. And it was cool when I took the bag off. Actually, you can't really hear it on stream, but I was using Accent Core Faust theme. And I like played it from like the 7-second mark, but when I take the bag off, it's like at the beat drop. It's like when I did it like on sale, I was like, "Oh, I'm feeling it, damn!"
Nice.
We actually got some little behind the scenes footage about that one in one of the recent videos we put up, where we take a closer look at some of the CEO entrances, and I got a little quick chat with you beforehand. I remember, but yeah, man,
yeah, very briefly.
Yeah, really, really cool stuff, and. That was a really cool entrance, man. Like, and congratulations on the sponsors, dude. Like, it's really cool. You definitely deserve it, man.
Thanks,
absolutely.
Man, thanks. I've been playing for so long. It's cool to like, I don't know. And everyone that like supported me like up until now, like I wouldn't be able to like have the opportunities I have with like all the people like that have like vouched for me, supported me, and like helped me get as like good as I am today. So
this one is one that I'm really more interested into how it came about as well, because you know, was it like a long process? Did you just hear from them? Like, was there rumblings before? Did they reach out? Like, how did this come about in general for you?
Yeah, so if you remember when Strive first came out, I actually did do an event with Red Bull at that time. It was a NA versus Japan 10v10 online event. Mm-hmm. And that I actually did like partner with Red Bull and Arxis to like make that event, and that was kind of like when we first started, I guess, like talking. And so that was definitely Red Bull was definitely like a team that I was talking to for a while before this like kind of came into fruition. And shout outs to them. Like the event organization is definitely something they really appreciated it, and it's like something I plan to do more of like in the future. Like this. I want to do like we're gonna probably do more like event stuff, but I can't really spoil anything right now. But like definitely be on the lookout for some cool stuff.
It's been really cool to see them kind of step up their activations in America as well, outside of the what was it called? Not Battleground. Was it Battlegrounds? Was the regional team thing that they had? Yeah. Outside of that, they've started stepping that up now with you know, doing American versions of Kumite and the Pit, which are very different formats. and embracing more games. Obviously, they started out exclusively with Street Fighter, and they've diversified. They had a really cool event in Europe. The Golden Letters event with Tekken was really cool.
Yeah,
they did with Spag in the gaming sphere. So they seem like super open to just trying weird and wonderful, cool shit. And that must be fun for someone like you to kind of like just let the wheels turn in your head and trying to come up with like the coolest ideas, I guess, you can think of, and try and get some of those off the ground.
No, exactly. That's something they've told me multiple times. They're like, we want to do like different types of event, not like your And there's nothing wrong with like the standard like whatever top 8 or like regular double elimination brackets. Like those are cool too, but they're definitely more about like the more unique event ideas. You know,
I think that's one of their like USPs with Red Bull as well. Is like that their events are usually a spin on things. They like to do things uniquely. Spin, you know, So.
I think that's part of why people really like Kumite as well. Like that was like one event like that I've watched for like a really long time from Red Bull, and I was like, this is so cool. Like I like this twist. Like there's a lot of, it's just different.
Just so much pageantry around it as well. You know, like they put so much effort into their presentation, and when you look at you know, the events that we love and we really feel very strongly about, you look at, you know, obviously Evo, because it has that presentation of the, you know, the Mandalay Bay Arena and how much that means to us to play in front of like 18,000 people on a screen that's the size of a tennis court. Like that's a one-off in itself. But stuff like CEO with a presentation, as you've shown earlier in that clip, you know, the presentation's so important about the event there. I think that's what we love so much about Red Bull, where they're always consistently bringing unique presentation and pageantry around their events, just to keep it fresh and exciting for us, even if it might divert from, you know, the traditional formats that we're used to. I think it's really important that we have that creativity in the space, and it's not just a homogenous, you know, the same old world tour streams and formats that we get every other month. It's really important, I think.
Yeah, for sure. I totally agree with you. And I really like that it can showcase more players' like personality. You know, I think that's one thing that I really want from like just even like regular majors in general. Like you know, you just go like a regular top 8, for example, right? Like I really want more just like emphasis like on the players, like, and like who they are, you know. And I like, that's part of why I really like CEO's like entrance thing. Like you can really get to see like their like personality. Like not most majors, it's just like, oh, these are the people that made it. They get in the chair. Did they win? Cool. Did they lose? All right, goodbye. Like that's like it. I want more than that, because there's so many amazing players like in the scene, man. And I feel like there's like a lot of opportunities like that they could be getting as well if they like, you know, did more like, or were able to, I guess, show what they're about, like as people.
Yeah, that's that I agree with that. Like that's always been the problem to me. Is like I watch events and like some players, like you literally just see them sit down, play, leave, never hear their voice, never hear anything. Like so many, you know, moments could have happened. I think like most of the iconic moments that are not purely in-game moments are due to, you know, whatever emotion the player shows. So like giving them a way, you know, to express this is definitely an important one, and that's what I'll be closely looking forward to at Evo, right? Because I still have this thing at Evo. I think me and ApologyMan were talking in the hotel lobby until like freaking 6 a.m.
like
I think on
or
Sunday.
Yeah.
And I was talking about that, and I'm sure like I'm gonna trigger Logan by saying this, but Evo SF5, right? SF5, Evo, first year, Infiltration wins, microphone, download complete, iconic moment. Second year, Tokido wins, microphone, fighting ever something's so great, GG's, great moment. Third year, Problem X wins, thank you, GG's, goodbye. And I was like, let the man say your words.
Yeah, seriously.
That's probably our fault though for rushing the stage.
That's actually true.
Yeah, you guys just
that's actually true. Blame
good.
Logan and
yeah, there was the year
Afi
where
who got grabbed out of the stage after that.
There's the year that Came Blue River won Evo as well, and like he had like a speech to say, and like they wouldn't give him like the mic either. And like I get it too, because I'm sure there's like whatever like production rules, or I don't know, but
time restraints.
I think it's just so important, you know, to give those players like that spotlight, like give them their flowers, and like let them show like what type of people they are. So then, you know, you find out about them, you follow them, you go to their streams, blah blah blah.
For so many players, that is the most important moment of their career as well, you know.
Yeah, totally.
It's the biggest stage that they will most likely ever be on for what they put so much time into. I mean, you know, there's obviously events where you can win more money, but you're never going to stand up from the setup after seeing that KO screen and look out at the crowd and see more people than you do in an Evo Grand Final. And I think, you know, that moment, to allow them to convey what they're feeling, and, you know, just let the emotion out on the stage. I mean, even when, like, remember when Justin won Evo for Marvel?
Yeah, for Marvel, he just rolled around.
You know, just rolled around, like.
Yeah, that was great.
Yeah, that was like he got it out, and it was an iconic moment.
I think he, like, hurt his leg or something, but
it got memed to shit. But like, you know, he was getting it out, and I think, you know, just hold up the thing, and that's it. I mean, there wasn't even a post-match interview, like, you know, for that kind of stuff. You see it in sports so much where, you know, immediately you'll hear from, you know, the quarterback after he wins the Super Bowl or MVP, you know, winning the World Series or whatever, or Djokovic after he wins Wimbledon. There will be something to say and something to be heard, and I think, yeah, it's really important that we get more of that. Anything that allows people to show their character, whether it's like in serious moments like that, or stuff like CEO where you're allowed to be a little bit silly with it. I think both is great. You know?
Both are great for sure.
Yeah, we need to show like that's how you remember a player with. But with these guys, we are nearing the end of our very first Wiki Talk Show. What's up, Logan?
I've got a question that I would love to ask Leaf, actually, because I've never really had a long conversation with him. I was not asking about his character choices, because he's always got really unique and like kind of offbeat character choices. Every game I've seen him play, they're very non-obvious choices.
Yeah.
You know, like it was really funny when I discovered you playing literally because of like Zach Bennett, because there was almost no one else in the world that was doing anything with Firebrand. You know, and then obviously, you know, he did so much in Marvel. He did so much in Dragon Ball. I know Faust's a character that you like have an actual connection with. You care about the character. Like, what is it that makes you choose your characters?
It's weird, man. Like, fighting games for me, like, it's really about, like, I'm such a character driven person. I've always been. Like, it's very rare for a fighting game, like, this the game itself, to speak to me more than a character. Actually, like, it's actually what gets me motivated to play, motivated to practice. Like, it's like a lot of things. It's the majority of it is their character design, in terms of like their gameplay, but their aesthetic is also like really important to me too. Like I love how Faust looks. He looks hilarious. Like he's got a bag on his head. He's got a scalpel. Like I think that's sick. And yeah, I don't know. At one point I thought I had like a style of like, oh, when I started, I was like, I guess I like characters with like big range normals. When I played BlazBlue, I played Hawkman, and then it's been kind of changing and shifting, and now I guess really like finding like a unique way to like play, and it just has to feel like I can do something that is unique to me. Like I think that also gives me a big advantage in tournament. I like it when people are like, oh, the only way I can prepare for this guy is playing this guy. Like I've always liked that, and I've always liked that advantage it gives me in tournament. And yeah, like when I played Firebrand, like that was like I've never played a character that was like fast and mobile and like Fireball. Like I've never played a character like that before, but I like fell in love with them, and I just felt like I could.
So there's not even like an overarching play style for you. It's just like finding something unique within the game that you feel you can make your own.
I think it's like there's like every fighting game like that has like a box, you know, and I like to try to find the things like kind of outside of it. A lot of people think I'm like some low tier hero. I promise you that's like not true. It was just with Faust. Like Piccolo was good for a very long time. Firebrand, very good character. Hawkman, good in majority of versions. Like I'm not being a hipster. I promise you. I just like I kind of, I guess, but I do really like finding like stuff outside the box. Like a good example was like in Dragon Ball when it came out. One thing I thought was like really cool with Piccolo was you could do like a block string with specific assists into his Hellzone grenade, and depending on the assist you used, it would make their guard cancel like come out later, so that you could do a mix up, and if you could like block the guard cancel, like that was something that is unique, like to Piccolo. Like I found like enjoyment in finding that like strategy like outside the box. Obviously, they added guard cancel vanish; it doesn't work anymore, so it doesn't matter. But like I find enjoyment in like strategies like that. So I feel like it made sense. I guess that Faust was like that. I love like throwing like tons of items, just like completely covering the screen. I think that's like really interesting. So yeah, I don't know.
Sharon in chat is saying, I always thought he liked characters that made so the other players could not play.
That's a big part of it too.
Do you enjoy preventing your opponent from playing?
Oh yeah,
Is
of course,
that your thing?
Course.
A solitaire player at heart. Single player gaming.
Exactly. Single player is the life on this. I mean, I see you as a Fang player in SF5 if you play SF5, you know. I feel like Fang is the character.
I played Rashid.
You played Rashid, you played Rashid, right? Yeah.
That's a good wins. I forgot you played Rashid.
That used to be single player game.
Remember on Twitter?
We were labbing together in Twitter. That's actually how I think that's the first time I talked to you. Yeah, exactly. That's how we met each other.
I remember that there was one year at Evo you like had a really close game with one of the really top players. What happened?
So I mean, obviously I was like Marvel focused, but I went to my SF5 pool and I beat Ryan Hart, and I was like, oh shit, okay. Yeah. Wait, yeah, Logan was there too. Logan saw that, he was there. And then after that, I played. What?
I was just to say that wasn't that like season 1, Rashid?
It was season 1, yeah. It was season 1.
Yeah.
I mostly played season 1, like a little bit of season 2.
No one knew what Rashid was doing.
Everyone thought he was bad. Everyone thought he was bad.
Well, his damage was mad. His damage and stun was mad low, but his tools
it was a lot
busted.
lower. But like he was so cheap actually in season 1. He actually.
I think. Do you know what he suffered from in season 1? That people, me included, were trying to play like, I mean, we're still discovering the Street Fighter meta and. It's 5 meta, and everyone was trying to just find the easy conversion into big damage. So we're like, oh, then Rashid's bad because he doesn't have easy
low
conversions
damage
to big damage. But then slowly but surely realized the game is not about that. And like, hold on, he actually has the entire toolset to annoy everyone.
Yeah, his normals are amazing. His pressure's crazy. Like his neutral's good. Like, oh man, dude, remember old Crouch Fierce? Like, I had like less recovery on whiff. So if you like jumped over it, you would just recover and then anti-air them with Atrix. Like he was so good before.
You like could not whiff punish it.
Yeah, I remember like I almost beat Fudo at that tournament. I almost changed the course of history, and I like choked it at like game 3 like last round.
I mean, a lot of play like that got forgot because the game was pretty much like one button into V trigger activate into 50% into guess for the game, and then season 2 was almost entirely that for the characters that were relevant. So that kind of got swept under the wayside. But yeah, man, the character had crazy good tools, but just not a lot of damage. Kind of in a similar sense to like how Jury's got really good tools, but she just didn't do anything until this year, pretty much as well when she touched you. So, but yeah, it's interesting to see that because obviously you already told us before about your experience with DNF Duel and like your character approach there, and not that it frustrated you, but it kind of put you off playing the character because Hook was also there, and
I'm a bit
probably couldn't make it your own.
With the DNF, but I'll probably give the game a shot again. I'm just like really busy with like Strive. Like Strive is so sweaty right now. Like everyone's so good, and like the Evo numbers, it's like 2,000 players. So I think like I'll probably give DNF a shot again like after Evo. I think. Realistically.
How are you preparing? How is the preparation going for Evo? Like knowing so many people are coming, and I know from Japan. So Daru confirmed that he was going, but I think that's the only Japanese that I think
Bonbon is also going.
Okay, because I know who confirmed. I think Daru is the one that, because I hang out on his stream a lot. But typically, there isn't that big of a wave for contingent from Japan, but still like a solid amount. Plus, obviously, I think EMEA, Latif, and Slash are gonna be there. Zando. It's gonna be competitive as hell. Like, how do you see your chances? Because you play Faust, which, regardless, I feel like Japan might actually be the hardest for you because, Japan is used to Faust. Like, I feel like if you're a top player in Japan, you have to face Nage.
Well, I mean, the last so far there's only like 2 Japanese players that I know that are going, and the last time I played Bombabon in tournament, I did beat him like at Kumite, and I think it's like it depends. It's definitely more character matchups that give me problems than like specific players, to be honest. I think a lot of his matchups now are better, but like he's definitely still has some like really hard ones. Like if I'm running into Ramulthal, which is pretty likely, Happy Chaos. Good luck. Yeah, like it's rough times. Like I'm not gonna lie. But
God, your Ogawa is going? Damn, I don't think
really?
No
way.
Ogawa.
Seriously?
Ogawa?
I didn't even know that dude played anymore.
I was about like literally I don't think I've ever seen Ogawa on Strive.
Yeah, he was not having a good time at the beginning of the game.
Is there much opportunity for you to practice against Ino at all in the US? I'm not too familiar with the character representation.
Oh, say again?
Ino?
Sorry, Ino in the US. Have you got much opportunity to
so
practice?
there's the Dawn in SoCal. He's really good. Diaphone as well, but I think Diaphone is not really... I think he's playing more Baiken now, from what I understand.
Now, yeah. He moved to Baiken.
Yeah, and then there's Havoc Noah. But I'd say like the Dawn is probably like, in my opinion, like the best in the States.
I mean, are you excited or concerned about facing these Japanese character specialists that are going to be traveling?
Yeah. So well, for Ino, I have like a fair amount of matchup knowledge, but like I can definitely Dar is like a different beast. Like he's so good. So
he's kind of benefiting from that thing that you said, where if you want to get the matchup experience to that level, you kind of have to play them. Yeah.
But I think I feel pretty confident. I think on paper, the matchup is pretty good for Faust, or if not at worst, like I think it's like even. But yeah, I'll be okay. It's the problem matchups I'm more worried about. Like if I'm gonna run into like Umisho or like Ram number 59, like I'm probably stressing out more.
Do you think the States is ready for? Yeah, I was gonna say, do you think the States is ready for Latif? Because
I mean.
That's the big question, right? That everyone wants to find out.
Hot take? I think yes. Actually, I think Jonathan he sells himself short all the time. He's like, I'm not as good as Latif. I'm nowhere as good as I'm like, that's cap. That dude is amazing. Just won CEO, super good player. Yeah. I think people are definitely more experienced versus Otto than they give themselves credit for. Like as I hear a lot of people are like, oh, like Latif, he's different. Like he's different. Trust me, I get it. Like he's a monster for sure, but I think it's gonna be people are gonna give Latif like a run for his money. He's definitely the favorite, I think, to win Evo for sure. Like if I had to pick a player that I think will win Evo, it's him. But I think there's a lot of players that can give him a run for his money, and there's a lot of strong players here.
Latif versus Hotashi. What's your score prediction?
This is probably like 10-4 Latif. I'm not gonna lie.
It's quite generous.
Generous.
Even Hotashi, like having talked to Hotashi,
I watched that CEO finals, that CEO top 8. Sorry, I think that's quite generous.
Yeah, it's gonna be a cool one to watch, regardless.
It'll be good. It'll be a good match.
It's gonna be a really fun one. Yipes announced as well that in the suites we're gonna have Slash against Flash as well in another one. A couple matches, of course, will be there because Reversal is part of that project. The Sodium Suites is gonna be at Evo. There's gonna be a ton of fun. Plenty of exhibition, plenty of strife, plenty of freaking all the games. That's all we want. But of course, we mentioned it. The next event for us is Brussels this weekend, streamed on this very channel. If you're into Strive, Street Fighter, or DNF Duel, these are the ones we're gonna go for. But with this, guys, that will be it for today. Thank you so much, of course, everyone in the chat for joining, and to the three of you guys, of course, and to ApologyMan. We were chilling in France for a while this weekend. I'm gonna see you very soon.
See you at Evo. It'll be good times
with Evo. But before we leave, that the only question I have, like for you, obviously, is if not Latif, who wins Strive Evo?
If not Latif,
yeah.
It's
It's a hard one.
It's It's probably Umisho, I want to say. Probably Umisho. Nah, you know what? It's Darkrai. Darkrai's going to win. Gold Lewis, baby.
I do want to see this. Thank you so much, ApologyMan, Logan Sama, Tyrant. Thank you guys, all of you guys on the chat. Thank you, thanks for the follows as well. We will be back on this channel this very weekend for Brussels Challenge, and of course on Monday for Renegade DNF Duel edition. Make sure you follow us. Do that exclamation YouTube if you want to follow our YouTube for all of the videos that are coming. We will upload this talk show onto YouTube for those of you who have missed part of it, and we'll be back on next Wednesday for the talk show. You can expect to see us every single Wednesday. It's at 10:30 p.m. UK time, which is 11:30 Europe time, which is 5:30
Eastern, 2:30
West
Pacific.
Yes, that's the one. So all of you guys around, you want to join, you're welcome to join this. Thank you so much. Signing off for now. That was the first episode of the Roundup. The next one comes next week. Thank you for joining, guys. We will see you very soon on twitch.tv/reversalgg.